I am Joshua Chasan, one of 15 local area clergy, some of whom are here this evening, who have asked our political leaders to reflect on their support of basing the F-35 in Burlington. We have respected our congressional delegation, as well as the mission and service of the Vermont Air National Guard. Nonetheless, we are deeply pained by our leaders' continued insistence on bringing the F-35 to Burlington, particularly because it would destroy the quality of life for our most vulnerable neighbors. The prophet Ezekiel spoke of those who have eyes to see but see not, ears to hear but hear not, for they lose sight of the command of all religious traditions to reflect on the consequences of our actions for the most vulnerable amongst us. Google Maps tell the story of the great density of population on the ground over which the massive engines of the F-35 would fly. Common sense would direct the placement of these planes to airports with far fewer people in the vicinity, fewer children whose young ears would be blasted, fewer schools where learning would be disrupted, fewer houses of worship where prayer would be disrespected. But Google Maps tell only part of the story. As a community, we have taken great delight in welcoming to our area thousands of refugees who have fled torture and murder in their homelands. They have found homes in peaceful, if modest, neighborhoods of our small cities. Most of these refugees are people of color, coming to what has been for centuries an overwhelmingly white state. Now here in Vermont, race and class combine, as they often do in America, to make our new neighbors invisible as the rest of us go about making plans. Where is our hospitality now in bringing in yet to be properly tested jets to fly over our new neighbors, raining upon them the roar of powerful engines of war, as if refugees below were homesick for the fearsome sound of these instruments of war? And it is not only new Vermonters who are affected. After World War II in Korea, men who risked their lives to defend our freedom settled with their families into homes in Burlington, South Burlington, and Winooski. These are the men and women of the greatest generation whose service we celebrated earlier this week on Memorial Day. They created peaceful neighborhoods, secure homes, and now as they enter old age, we propose to bring in jets which will challenge the financial value of their modest stake in these economically precarious times. Where is our gratitude? None of us needs Burlington's big business owners to fly us to Florida to hear the sound of an F-35. For decades, we have heard the F-16s I can remember the quieter roar of the F-16s scaring my young children to tears as a series of these smaller jets shot out of the airport. Such was the impact of these planes that more than 100 families living near the airport were forced to leave their homes, turning sweet neighborhoods into boarded-up blocks of barren space. As kings once used their power to dispossess the vulnerable, citizens in this democracy we call Vermont are given no choice but to move on. It brings to mind King Ahab's seizing Naboth's vineyard. Woe unto them, the prophet Isaiah warned. Woe unto them that join house to house and join field to field till no space is left and you live alone in the land. Where is the justice in all of this? The interests of the powerful often trump the demands of justice, but sooner or later we do reap what we sow. As Martin Luther King Jr. said, the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. In the words of the prophet Amos that Dr. King often spoke, justice does roll down like waters and righteousness like an ever-flowing spring. Here this evening, in defending the well-being of the most vulnerable of us, we defend the very essence of democracy in Vermont. Let us be strong in the face of facile flag-waving and fear-mongering. Like a tree planted by the water, our roots are grounded in the rich soil of Vermont fairness. Be strong, and let us strengthen each other.